Okay, so it's a topic of discussion that we wanted to talk about today. Oh, by the way, my name is Shalei. This is my opponent, Mary, a good friend of mine. Is the Burka Ban that was passed by the French Parliament in March 2004, which forbids the wearing of burqas in French public school systems. So today I'm going to uphold the resolution that the French public school system has the right to ban these burqas and that it's actually a good law, whereas Mary is going to be giving you the cons of this argument. So the first thing that I want to talk about really quickly is secularism, right? So the French public school system has been dedicated to the separation of church and state, right? This has been since 1905 when it passed a law that prohibited students and staff from wearing any clearly visible religious symbols. This law relates to the time when the secular French state took over and controlled most of the schools from the Catholic Church. So therefore, the Burka ban is in public school systems is in congruence with these other laws. It hasn't, as I explained, it hasn't been allowed in French public schools since 2004. And women who wear these veils display. Mary, is there any way to start this over?
No, it's fine.
Okay. So basically.
Hi. So I'm gonna argue the concept to this argument. Sorry, Shalei, you got cut off. So I actually am defending the idea that this is incorrect and morally wrong, and the French government has no right to do this, because Shalei talks about secularism in her sadly cut off speech, but the goal of secularism isn't only separation of church and state. The ultimate goal is to protect people's rights, and these people's rights are being violated. They have the right to freedom of expression and freedom of religion. Now, oftentimes, women actually don't view these veils and these burqas as limiting their rights. They view it as freeing them from overt symbols of sexuality or being a woman. You take away the hair and cover up, the attractive parts of a woman's body, and all you think about is her personality and her face. And this is something that they should have the right to do. They should have the right to express themselves and dress the way they want. And if it's part of their religion and they feel that they're not following the tenets of their religion or what is right to them personally, who is it for the government to enforce a law telling people they have to dress this way, have to dress that way? This is defending their right to their religion and their freedom of expression. So I think that you can't say that secularism is the ultimate goal here, when secularism's actual real goal, the final goal, is to protect people's rights. And in this case, their rights are being violated. Back to you, Shalei.
Okay, so we just saw a really interesting argument from Mary about how she says that these women can find these burqas to be extremely liberating. She says that they can remove these overt sexual symbols, and that women who wear the burqa really love to do so. But what I'm telling you today, and what I tried to start talking about in my previous speech, was that this burqa ban applies to all of the students, right? And it applies to lots of different types of clothing as well, right? Some students might find it liberating to wear like a yarmulke or a Christian cross, or like a very short skirt or a revealing blouse. But the idea behind these restrictions on what students can wear is basically like what you'll find in any schools that have some type of clothing code, right? It's to put all the students on an equal playing field, right? And insofar as the burqas prevent these girls from being able to move about freely, from being able to perhaps participate fully in their classes because they are very covered and can be extremely uncomfortable to wear the burqas, it's ultimately in the best interest of not only the girls themselves, but also all of the other students who are being prevented from wearing the crosses or their yarmulkes to in fact have to conform to the rules that have been sent out by the secular.
Sorry to cut you off again, Shalei. So I just want to respond to this idea that this isn't only targeted at Muslims or Jewish kids. It's not targeted solely at the minorities. But I just want to put this in perspective here, in the idea that this is actually taking place, this ban took place in France, which has the largest Jewish and Muslim population in any of the Western European nations. So you can see that this might actually not be out of pure good-hearted, we want to make sure that these girls can play PE to the best of their abilities. It might actually come from I hate to say it, but discrimination, because you look at this and crosses are so easy to hide. You can tuck it inside your shirt. I mean, a lot of these kids, maybe they're wearing uniforms that come up, they're high collared. It's easy to cover things, but it's not easy to cover a yarmulke. It's not easy to cover a burqa or a headscarf. They're completely overt, just as a cross is overt. So you can see that this is kind of subtly targeted at these minorities. Yes, it's saying that Christians can't wear crosses in school, but if you tuck it inside your shirt, no one can reach in and pull it out and be like, look what you're wearing. But they can point out that you're wearing a burqa. Sorry. And also, I just want to say that many countries already have traditional garb that fully cover women, fully cover men. There's many countries where men wear full coverings, and they've never had these problems. So why do we have to believe that society cannot operate with women fully covered? It's their choice. They aren't being made to, and we have freedom of religion and freedom of expression. I think that's all we really can ask for in a Western nation. Thank you.